Hey guys, welcome back to Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. We're trying to find out where our old home was on this island. So let's go to the map. It's somewhere down here in Grand Surrey, near a bridge and a church on a hill. So why don't we just fast travel down to the hotel, and then we either need to go west or east. There's a bridge here into the old city. There's one here into Miner's End. Maybe there's a hill up here somewhere. We'll head off to the west, I think. Maybe ask a few people on the way. Yeah, we'll go this way. Somebody might be able to give us some directions as well.
Is this familiar to you?
Talk to them.
You look like an honorable man. I have some information for you.
Oh, thank you. People say that there is an abandoned manor on LeBlanc Road between Vernet Street and Silent Way. Let's see if we're heading in the right direction. There's LeBlanc there. Silent Way and Vernet. It does actually look like this one here. So let's place the marker down there and I'll head off in that direction. Hopefully it won't take too long to run down there. We found the yacht club. Church of St. Nicholas, so maybe this is the church that's nearby. Actually, we're still a fair distance away. Okay, so if I take the second right, we should end up pretty much just by the old manor. Was it that one? I think it's the next one.
Extra, extra!
News kiosk. How did obviously I went the wrong way. How did I end up here? Let's go back down to the south. Okay, so this should be LeBlanc if I just follow it around here. We've got the central square here, Founders Square. I do believe this is LeBlanc. Some mountains in the distance. Sternwood Manor, this is the one. We now have a fast travel point. Let's see what John's up to.
Hey Sherry, there's post here, and it seems as if the letter was delivered recently.
Sherlock, I hope this letter does not reach you, for it would mean you have committed to your absurd flight of fancy. The past is the past. To expend any more time and energy retreading one's steps is at best childish indulgence and at worst pathological weakness. Consumption is an ugly end, and you are better off for not witnessing it, despite all your protestations. One presumes by now you have visited our mother's final resting place. I trust this has satisfied your impetuous impulses and frees you to return to London at once. It is time to turn your back on what was and help to shape what could be. The nation needs you. Mycroft.
After reading that, I am even less eager to return home than before. Let's investigate our manor.
That's the Mycroft I know. Predictable.
There she is. Our old manor. It's smaller than I remember.
You were a couple of feet shorter back then, Sherry. Or maybe it's bigger on the inside.
We will take a look, but first let's explore the outside. Let's check out this gazebo.
Hey, that's Wooden Joe. He was always the best at playing criminals.
I did not expect these to still be here. It was enjoyable to practice using real handcuffs to make an arrest. And this must be the reason our suspect was apprehended. Wood and glass, oh, very precious. An irreplaceable tool for catching a thief.
Okay. Let's check the other side as well.
Why does this barn give me such an unpleasant feeling?
Oh, I know. It's because Mycroft used an axe to shoo you out of here. It scarred you for life, but I enjoyed it.
Okay, well,
Look at the ash all over the door. I don't recall hearing of a fire.
We don't have to stay here. You can afford another night or two at the hotel.
It's stuck.
Oh well, let's just head back. They probably haven't even stripped our room yet.
Come on. Must be locked.
Move aside. Let me have a go. Seems fine to me, Sherry. This barrier, perhaps it's mental, not physical.
Or perhaps the rest of us are simply constrained by reality, John. I wonder if there's a key secreted somewhere in the garden.
Try to recall that memory about the policeman, Sherry. Concentrate.
remembering my past. Okay, so shattered memory. We found the manor. We got the letter from Sherlock's brother, Mycroft. And we do need to pin this. John suggested I try to remember the full story about the policeman in front of our manor. Let's pin that and see what we can find.
The policeman brought us both home, John. That's why he was here.
I'm pretty sure he brought something else with him too. Do you remember what it was? I bet it was our reward.
No, we were not so lucky. It was a set of lockpicks that we had used to sneak into someone's house. That's why we were arrested.
Did someone come out to investigate all the commotion?
It was Mycroft. He smoothed things over and convinced the policeman not to press charges. The officer left and never returned. But we had to endure a serious talking to from my brother. Mycroft wasn't happy about the fact that we were arrested. It felt like he lectured us for hours.
Did we give him something afterwards, Sherry?
Oh, yes. Yes, now I remember. It was a letter. That's why we snuck into the house. Mycroft asked us to. He wasn't angry we stole, but that we got caught.
Oh, that's right. It must have been only a couple of months after we moved to Cordona. Ugh, the good old days.
Whoa.
How very odd. It appears that memory stood between me and the manor. It's as if my mind palace had seeped into the real world. This deserves further investigation. Perhaps there's more to discover inside.
As long as there is a comfortable place to put my feet up, I'll be happy. Maybe a chaise longue.
Aha! In we go.
Chaise longue. Okay, well, we are inside.
Home sweet home, Sherry.
One of the first things I saw when entering this house as a child. It's like déjà vu. Mycroft's umbrella, the only outgoing thing in his wardrobe.
We've been instructed that a public auction will take place on the 20th July at Sternwood Manor. All lots have been selected from the finest pieces of property owned by the Holmes' family and have been evaluated by experts. Their authenticity is confirmed.
And I was wondering why it's so empty in here.
There may be a small chance that some of our property could be found among local traders' wares. It is worth a look, wouldn't you say?
Okay, find furniture traders across the island to acquire items for your manor. Their stock updates frequently, so keep an eye on the map for notifications of new deliveries. Okay, we will check that out. And we can't
Another
get through
one.
these doors yet.
There must be something important behind it. I can feel it.
We need to unlock a memory before we can do that.
Hey, this is the luggage we brought from London, isn't it?
Another memory incoming, Sherry.
Strange. I struggle to recall anything about the day we moved in. The only detail I'm sure of is that it was raining early that morning.
Okay, let me have a little look around at some of the other things first.
I remember how angry Mycroft was about these marks. He called it a frivolous, childish endeavor.
Just want to have a look at this black mark up here as well.
I think our family portrait used to hang here.
Okay, so there's another door here that we can't get through. The door out to the balcony isn't open, so we can't get out there. There's nothing on this desk to look at.
I heard footsteps upstairs a second ago. Wait, do we have an attic here?
Almost as good as mine. Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it.
So all of the other doors are blocked or locked. I remember the day we first came to Cordona. Alright, there's a few things to look at here. Wheelchair.
Our mother brought a slew of belongings with her. She refused to leave a single thing in London. Mycroft had to spend the whole day dealing with it. This trip was a challenge for our mother. I tried to help her. There was always a hat on our stand, but I'm sure it did not belong to Mycroft.
Do you feel it? Is it the air shimmering, or is it my imagination?
Okay, so we do get to recreate this memory. Let's take a quick look. Okay. John asked me to remember our first day on Cordona. We arrived early in the morning. We brought a lot of luggage with us, mainly because our mother refused to leave it in London. Mycroft was busy dealing with it. The voyage had been a challenge for our mother, and I tried to help her. There was always a hat on our coat stand, but it didn't belong to Mycroft. Someone else was a frequent guest in our house. The Tale of the Empty House. Soon after we left Cordona, some of our manor furniture was sold at public auction. I think we can have a look at the map and see if there's anything available. If we do take a look at the map, we can see that there is an exclamation mark down here at the Garden Decorations Trader, so we'll go and have a look there later on once we're done with the house. But we should be able to recreate this fairly easily. I think this is pretty straightforward. We know that Sherlock was helping his mother. Okay, Sherlock and there's John helping his mother, and Mycroft was dealing with the luggage. And someone not in the family used to leave their hat here. So, that old man? Okay, let's see if this works.
Your neighbors will be told that Mrs. Holmes is suffering from tuberculosis. It is common to move closer to the sea in such cases.
Thank you, Dr. Richter. No, Sherlock, step away from her. Upstairs, go to your room.
Lean on me, Mother. Take your time.
Actually, I never heard her coughing. I remember now.
We arrived in the early morning of a rainy day. Sherry's mother was weak and unsteady, so he tried to help her. Mycroft was very serious while dealing with luggage. When he saw Sherlock trying to help his mother up, he commanded him to go upstairs to our room. The last person to arrive was the doctor, Otto Richter, who said that the neighbors will believe that Violet has tuberculosis. Sherry just realized that he never heard her coughing.
I feel dizzy. It's stuffy in here, isn't it?
John, are you all right?
I'll be okay in a minute. How about we find our room in the meantime?
Right, the Tale of the Empty House. Should I do that first, or shall we continue with the Mother's Love? I wouldn't mind just finding the items first. Arriving at Cordona. Okay, we've done that. How far away is this? There is a fast travel point right there. Let's see if we can get our luggage back, get our items back before heading upstairs. So from here just to the northwest. Looks like there's a few shops here. We can, they're closed at the moment.
Simply the best garments on the island. The finest clothes for the finest citizens.
So we can buy new items. Got quite a bit of money here. So I can just buy these clothes. They're pretty cheap. Don't think there's any need to rent them. I'll just grab a bunch of them and maybe I'll need them in the future, I'm not sure. I do want to make sure I have enough money to buy whatever we need for the garden. There we go. Some glasses. Need that. Some moustaches as well. We can go in disguise if we need to. That'll do.
Perfect choice.
Because I don't think this is the shop we're looking for. No, it's a bit further along. There's an art trader here.
Masterpieces by local artists at an affordable price.
We
Garden
are looking for
statues,
the
swings,
garden
and
statues.
even more. My goods will brighten up your house.
Right, so let's buy everything. I guess this is all of our stuff.
Enjoy your purchase.
The yard redux. I managed to retrieve all the items that were once in our front yard. Now that the space has been restored, I wonder if it will bring back some memories. Well, let's go and find out. Might get rid of that beard actually. Don't mind the hat though.
The best place for reading.
The garden's much prettier, don't you think? I bet the memories are all flooding back now.
Okay, I do need to... There we go, I do need to pin that.
Ah yes, we were sword fighting in this very spot.
And that time I was the winner.
So, as your victory prize, you asked me to fulfill a wish. I remember we did something the very next night, John, but what was it? We brought a cage with us. You insisted it must be made of iron.
That's because we were preparing to hunt fairies in our garden. Everyone knows iron is the only thing that can hold them.
And I was distinctly uncomfortable.
It was a disguise, of course. Fairies are easy to scare off, unless you're incognito.
And every trap needs bait. We brought honey and a glass of warm milk.
After 2 hours lying in wait, we noticed movement in the bushes. The fairies appeared at last.
No, it was just Isolde the pig. She was lured by the smell of honey and milk, and ate every last drop. Isolde belonged to Mr. Sim in Miner's End and escaped regularly. At least twice a month we would see him searching for her all over the island.
One marvelous evening I defeated Sherry in a sword fight, a rare accomplishment. As my prize, I made him join me on a fairy hunt. Sherlock didn't share my enthusiasm as he pretends not to believe in fairies, but I knew exactly what to do. We disguised ourselves, found an iron cage big enough to capture a sprite, and laid out warm milk and honey as bait. And it worked. After 2 hours lying in wait, we spotted movement in the bushes. The fairies had appeared at last. Or that's what I thought. Alas, it was just Isolde the pig, who had caught a whiff of the milk and honey. She gobbled up every last drop, then fled as fast as she came. Isolde belonged to Mr. Sim in Miner's End, but she would always get free at least twice a month. We'd see him wandering Cordona to find her. She would turn up in impossible places, so perhaps in some way she was a little bit magic too. When pigs fly. Okay. So nothing to say about this bench. And then we also bought the statue.
My mother liked the story of David and Goliath. She said it doesn't matter how small you are, you can always overcome any obstacle.
Okay, well that's the garden done. Let's go back inside. There might be a few more things for us to find. We'll keep an eye on the map to see if they appear. Memories in the manor. John proposed that we find our bedroom. I think it was somewhere upstairs. Well, we can see which door has been opened. Looks like this one.
Look at this. It's like traveling 10 years into the past with a single step. Oddly satisfying. I'll never forget how challenging it was to obtain this simple sketch. Oh, these must be the notes of my earliest observations. We wanted to locate a particular dog we'd spotted, and we met it, didn't we? Need to repeat this one day, but with bullets. Sharp and well balanced. It would be a pity to leave such a tool behind.
Coal dust from Miner's End, sandy dirt from the old city. We scoured the island top to bottom for these soil samples. Oh, it reminds me of our neighbour. He had the same balloon in his yard, only bigger. Do you remember?
Yes. We visited him several times while living here.
Okay, let's check out the toys.
Cannot believe all my toys are still here.
Hey, they were not just yours, they were half mine too.
An artifact from Palau carved out of bone and claimed to be 300 years old. My mother proved it was a fake. My very favorite plaything. It was the perfect pirate treasure. The first chemical laboratory I ever made. I almost miss its elegant simplicity. Look at this, John. Remember how desperately I wanted to learn the violin? I never had a proper opportunity.
Such a shame. I always hated the rule about being silent in this place.
Robinson Crusoe.
The only fiction book on my table. I can still hear my mother reading it to me. So many pleasant evenings were spent here with the Encyclopedia Americana. Interesting. What's that over there? This doorknob has a cross-shaped end. Too intricate to be merely a handle.
You know what? That definitely looks like a key. Let's poke around and see if we can find any secrets.
A magnificent tool made for a spurious purpose, staring into the sky. I've definitely found a better use for it.
You mean for spying on people? This time I was first to pick beds. This one's mine now.
Okay, so we've got the handle for something. Looks like it goes there. Any other possibilities? There is a box here as well. Let's check this one out first. T-form. It's not the right one.
Perfect match. My small archive of crime clippings. Maybe I should pick up this habit again. Still has a faint odor of tobacco, one of the few things on this island that smell like home. Made of cherry wood, Father's favorite.
A small straight smoking pipe made of cherry wood that belonged to Sherry's late father, C.J. Holmes. We had to hide it from Violet as she didn't know we stole it from his cabinet in London. The wood is old, its surface is worn from frequent use, but it has been well maintained. A faint scent of tobacco lingers. Sherlock has taken his father's pipe with him. I sense it carries considerable sentimental value.
I knew you'd find it in no time.
Okay, we found the hidden treasure. I think that's everything in this room. Let's check out the case. Dusty wood handle. John's diary. We found the pipe. And we have the memory of Isolde the pig. Casebook, Mother's Love. Okay, John remembered that we had hidden a treasure somewhere in our room. That was the pipe. So we found that. Brilliant. We don't really have anywhere to go from here, so let's check out the Mine Palace. We have a few clues now. The missing records, mother died of tuberculosis and no tuberculosis. Okay. Mycroft hid the truth about the death of our mother and lied when he told me that she died of tuberculosis. Interesting. Imaginary friend John, missing records. Okay, we have no records, but maybe we can talk to the neighbour. While there are no records about my mother's death, we had a family friend on Cordona. He may know something. Alright, so let's go back to the casebook. There are no records about my mother's death, but I do recall an old family friend we had here in Cordona, an eccentric man named Theodore Gilden. He was missing the little finger on his right hand, and if he still lives here, he may be able to shed some light on her passing. He used to live in one of the neighbouring houses near the Greek bridge, and he had a gas balloon in his yard. Near the Greek bridge? Okay, maybe he's here or here. We're going to
Wasn't
check
that
that
neighbour
out.
missing a finger?
That does sound vaguely familiar. Wasn't his name, Theodore? Theodore Gilden, perhaps?
It's the perfect time to investigate.